Now, do you fellas write most of your own material, or do other people write for you?
No, we write all of it.
Where does inspiration come for writing records?
The unconscious.
How does it come from the unconscious? Do you think of things and then just put it into words? What tells you that one material is good and others aren't?
You know, unasked for. They just pop out of the unconscious.
When you have songs written, which ones do you, how do you determine which ones will make a hit and which won't?
The public determines that.
I understand you have a new single and album coming out this week, is that right?
The single is out this week. The album will be out in about 3 weeks.
Has there been any reaction so far to the single which has been released?
Yeah, it's supposed to be doing very well. It's a big hit in New York and in L.A.
How about recording sessions now? What are some of the peculiar complexities of recording sessions, and how do you compensate for them?
Well, recording is entirely different than playing in person. In the recording studio, it's more like a laboratory. You're able to be much more selective about what you create. Whereas in person, there's a greater degree of spontaneity about the whole thing.
Ray, how much time do you spend in a recording session to cut a single?
Oh, it varies. Some come pretty quick, others take quite a while.
What is quite a while, and then how would a single compare to an album?
Well, the single's just one cut. You know, an album is 11, 12 cuts, so that takes 11 or 12 times as long as a single does.
Naturally. And do you record an album in one day, or do you spend several days?
No, it usually takes weeks to record.
Gentlemen, may I ask a favor? Would you introduce yourself, please?
I'm Robbie.
Thank you.
John.
Thank you, John.
My name is Jim Morrison.
Jim, thank you.
Ray Manzarek.
Ray, let me start with you in a question, if I may. How do you characterize your music? Does it have a name?
Well, it's impossible, really, to put a label on it because of where we are in the music. Being on the inside, you're only of the music, and all categories have to come from the outside. So someone else is going to have to say what our music is rather than us, because we are our music.
Too much in it at the moment. Now, a lot of people seem to think you're from San Francisco. Is that true?
No, actually, we got together in L.A., but we play in San Francisco a lot.
That's the explanation of why you have that association. Why is so much happening in San Francisco? You figured it out yet?
The West is the best.
All right, fair enough. You sold many, many albums before you sold a single record. It's a phenomenal record success all around, the album and the single. How long did it take to make that first album?
About a month.
That's a relatively short time in this day and age, isn't it?
Yeah. We're in the middle of our second album now and trying to top the first one.
You told me, though, that it took you about a year to accumulate everything and put it all together. We leap up here. Future plans. Somebody mentioned you're going somewhere.
Yeah, we're going to go to England, and our new album should be out about September.
Have you selected a name for the album yet, Jay?
I think it's going to Strange Days.
you came back for the second album. How tough was that to do? The Strange Days.
It wasn't hard.
With the new song, or with the songs that you had been performing?
Yeah,
before?
that most of them are already we knew. You know,
I see. So this was
there's a
still-
couple new ones. You know, so it wasn't difficult at all, except for Paul Rothschild went crazy with the studio because he's heard of Sgt. Pepper's, and he wanted to, use all the crazy stuff in the studio, backwards tracks and everything. So that was fun.
Were you happy? How happy were you with the second album, with the music?
Wow, I thought it was great. Yeah, it was my favorite album.
And what had you written in that album?
Well, let's see. Love Me Two Times was on that record. Lost Little Girl, I believe, was on that. Was that on that record? Yeah.
So I got a list of the
Yeah.
discography here. Was there?
It was.
What was the major hit out of that one?
Well, Love Me Two Times was going to be a hit, except New Haven happened right in the middle of it, and it knocked it out of the box.
Well, what happened? What was the result of the New Haven?
They took it off the air.
Was it backlash everywhere?
A bummer.
I think these days, especially in the States, you have to be a politician or an assassin or something to really be a superstar. I'd like to do a song that, or a piece of music that's just a pure expression of joy, pure, like a celebration.
Love me two-time, baby. Love me twice today. Love me two-time, girl. I'm gone away. Love me two-time, girl. One for tomorrow, one just for today. Love me two-time, I'm gone away. Love me one time, could not speak. Love me one time, yeah, my knees got weak. Love me two-time, girl. Lost me all through the week. Love me two times, I'm gone away. Love me two-time, I'm gone away. Oh, yeah! Love me one time, could not speak. Love me one time, baby. Yeah, my knees got weak. Love me two-time, girl. Lost me all through the week. Love me two-time, I'm gone away. Love me two-time, babe. Love me twice today. Love me two-time, babe. 'Cause I'm gone away. Love me two-time, girl. One for tomorrow, one just for today. Love me two-time, I'm gone away. Love me two-time, I'm gone away. Love me two times, I'm gone away.
Welcome to part 2 of my Doors album deep dive series. Today I'm talking about their second studio album, Strange Days. This was released on September 25th, 1967. It was recorded between May and August 1967 at Sunset Sound Recorders in Hollywood, where they had also recorded their debut album. Producer Paul Rothchild recorded the album on an 8-track machine, which allowed the band more space to experiment in the studio. Several songs were compositions which dated back to 1965 and were left off the debut album. Strange Days incorporates a number of new instruments to augment the Doors' sound, including the marimba, harpsichord, and the Moog synthesizer, which was one of the first uses of the synth in rock music. The Moog is programmed by Paul Beaver and played by Jim Morrison. Inspired by albums like Sgt. Pepper, the Doors, like many of their contemporaries, began to utilize a variety of unconventional studio techniques during the album's recording sessions. Ray Manzarek's intro to Unhappy Girl was played backwards, and on Horse Latitudes, producer Botnick took the white noise of a tape recorder and varied the speed by hand winding it to simulate the sound of the wind, as the 4 band members played a variety of instruments in unusual ways. This is my cassette copy. And this is the CD. This is the remastered CD version of the record. I really like this album a lot. It is really The Doors Part 2. It's kind of, I think of it almost like Van Halen 2. It's not quite as good as the debut album, but it's still a very strong album. So let's get into the songs on this album. It opens up with the title track, Strange Days, which features one of the first uses of the Moog synthesizer, and Morrison's voice is processed through the device to give it a disembodied effect. There's a haunting and claustrophobic feel to this song, which I feel fits well with the lyrics. The song was one of the earliest Doors compositions and performed as early as 1966 at their London Fog shows. The next song, Your Lost Little Girl, was allegedly written by Morrison with Frank Sinatra in mind. It's got a nice descending bass line and some arpeggiated guitar by Krieger and a stately organ from Manzarek. I love Krieger's melodic guitar solo, and this is one of my favorites in the entire Doors catalog.
Your lost little girl, your lost little girl, you're lost, tell me who are you? Think that you know what to do. Impossible, yes, but it's true. I think that you know what to do. Yeah, sure that you know what to do. Your lost little girl, your lost little girl, you're lost, tell me who are you? To do. Impossible, yes, but it's true. I think that you know what to do. Girl, sure that you know what to do. Little girl,
Love Me Two Times was the first single off the album and was written by Krieger and incorporates elements of Baroque pop. It has a classic twangy guitar lick and some beautiful harpsichord playing by Manzarek. It's a great piece of bluesy folk rock that I never get tired of listening to. The fourth track, Unhappy Girl, has a very surrealistic, dreamlike quality to it. There's some very unusual guitar playing by Krieger and some groovy tack piano by Manzarek.
Unhappy girl, left all alone, playing solitaire, playing warden to your soul. You are locked in a prison of your own device, and you can't believe what it does to me. See you crying, unhappy girl, tear your web away, saw through all your bars, melt yourself today. You are caught in a prison of your own device. Of your own device.
Horse Latitudes is a spoken word poetry piece which Morrison claimed to have written when he was in high school. To me, I could do without this track. I mean, I can appreciate Jim's poetry, but it sort of interrupts the flow of the album. I don't hate it, but I'm also not a huge fan of it. The song segues into Moonlight Drive, which was the first song Morrison sang for Ray Manzarek when they reunited back in 1965. It has a prominent slide guitar played by Krieger and some nice tack piano by Manzarek.
I'm sitting on the beach wondering what I'm going to do with myself. Who comes walking down the beach but James Douglas Morrison? And I said, Jim, come on over here, man. And I said, well, what have you been up to? So what's going on? And he said, well, I've been living up on Dennis Jacobs' rooftop, consuming a bit of LSD, and writing songs. And I said, whoa, writing songs. Okay, man, cool. Like, sing me a song, And he said, oh, I'm kind of shy, because I knew he was a poet. He knew I was a musician. I said, sing me a song. So he sat down on the beach, dug his hands into the sand, and the sand started streaming out in little rivulets, and he kind of closed his eyes, and he began to sing in a Chet Baker haunted whisper kind of voice. He began to sing Moonlight Drive, and when I heard that first stanza, let's swim to the moon, let's climb through the tide, penetrate the evening that the city sleeps to hide, I thought, ooh, spooky and cool, man. I can do all kinds of stuff behind that. I could do kind of... sort of like, let's swim to the moon, let's climb through the tide, penetrate the evening that the city sleeps to hide. And I thought, ooh, I can put all jazz chords and I can put some kind of bluesy stuff. I thought, yeah. I could do my Ray Charles and my and my Muddy Waters, Otis Spann influences, and I could do just all kinds of bluesy, funky stuff behind what Jim was singing.
People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. Women seem wicked when you're unwanted. Streets are uneven when you're down. When you're strange, faces faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange. People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. Women seem wicked when you're unwanted. Streets are uneven when you're down. When you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange. Alright, yeah. When you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange.
I love this song. It reminds me a lot of the Rolling Stones' Paint It Black for some reason. I think it's just the dark theme of the lyrics. But it's one of those songs that people instantly recognize as The Doors. The next song, My Eyes Have Seen You, was another song composed by Morrison in 1965. It's not as strong as anything on the debut album and one of the less impressive tracks here. The third track on side 2, I Can't See Your Face in My Mind, reminds me a lot of End of the Night on the debut album, but not nearly as strong. This track and My Eyes Have Seen You are really, for me, kind of the weak links on this album. If there had been 2 stronger songs in place of these ones, I feel like this could have been just as strong a record as the first album. The final song, When the Music's Over, was performed as early as 1966 and is one of the band's most epic closing tracks, running 11 minutes in length. The lyric, When the Music's Over, Turn Out the Lights, was apparently a comment the owner of the London Fog made to the band many times. Morrison recorded his vocals in a single take over a backing track the rest of the band recorded when he was absent from the studio. Manzarek has said the organ solo was inspired by Herbie Hancock's Watermelon Man.
When the music's over, when the music's over, yeah. When the music's over, turn out the light, turn out the light.
don't like this as much as the end, but there's no denying it is still a fantastic album closer and a great way to end what I really consider kind of two essential classic albums by The Doors. So let me know what you think of Strange Days. Do you like it better than the debut? How does it rank in terms of The Doors' discography for you? I appreciate you watching, and as always, take care.
We want the world and we want it So when the music's over, when the music's over, when the music's over, turn out the light, turn out the light, turn out the light.